afternoon. I'm Karen, the Service Manager. Thank you for coming in this afternoon. We have got a few viewings today. We've had a couple of other sessions this morning regarding this. It's just a general how to learn about your car, little things like washer bottle fluid, checking the oil, what to do if you do unfortunately get a puncture, and also the unfortunate event if you do find that your car won't start one day because the battery's flat. So Jacob is my apprentice in the workshop, okay, and he's going to talk you through those processes if you do have a problem. Any questions? He will happily answer them for you,
No
and I will try my best to help you as well.
One quick question.
Yeah.
Yep.
My car is servicing every year. Don't they check everything when they do?
We do. Also, today we'll give you a loyalty card. So if you would like, say, the washer bottles, the tyres and anything like that checked, you just give us a call and we'll just get you in and check those in between your service periods.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah,
There we
no
go.
worries. Okay. If you want to come in a little bit, it's a bit of a smaller group, so you can kind of get a bit more of a gauge on things. So, first of all, fluids are an important thing to keep up in your car. Screen wash, if it gets empty, you can get pulled over, and if the cop notices that it's empty, you can get a bit of a license, bit of points on your license, I believe. So it's a good idea to just check it every so often. Make sure you don't run out. If you do worry about it, just bring it in, we'll top it up and it'll be fine. Coolant, you've got two on these new hybrids. You've got one for the high voltage electric battery gearbox, and you've also got one for the main engine. This high voltage battery one doesn't go down as often as the engine one, we've noticed. So it's just a good thing to just keep an eye on that one. Every so often, look at that one. If you do notice it down, just top it up. You can use antifreeze or water should be fine.
Is there a specific antifreeze? There's so many out there.
So we recommend using the Honda one because it is a Honda car and they do like their blue antifreeze in them.
And do they come with warning lights? Because I've noticed not so long ago it doesn't come with a washer bottle.
The washer bottle doesn't have a warning light, I don't think. Yeah,
The others
but
do.
the coolant should do, and the brake fluid and engine oil should as well.
Okay.
So engine oil, you've got your dipstick. Pull that out as usual. I check this when it's cold because the viscosity of the oil is a bit different when it's hot, just the thickness basically. So to check oil, you've got 2 marks on your dipstick. On both sides, they'll be the same level. So you need to make sure that is on the top level to make sure it's full, sort of thing.
Do you normally wipe that?
Yeah, I would
Wipe
make
the
sure
disc,
it's wipe it with a tissue or something, dip it again,
Put it back in
and then pull it
then
out
take the
again.
measure.
Yep.
Parts level, of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't want it parked on a hill and then misread the level as well. Yeah. Brake fluid, we service that every 3 years, so there's no need to worry about that as much. If it does look black when you do like a check, bring it in, we'll have a look at it and check the moisture content of it because it does absorb water through the atmosphere. So it's something that we do need to check every so often. It's not all the time, it should be fine every 3 years. We do change it. Any questions about under the engine here?
Very quick one.
Yep.
There's so many gizmos in that thing.
Yeah.
If anything goes wrong, doesn't it tell me that
Yeah.
your oil is low and things like
Yeah, so if the oil is low, it will ping up a light on the dashboard.
Okay.
It will be a little oil squirty jar,
Okay, yeah,
and it will be an orange, I believe.
that? So that's when we can top it up.
Yeah. These jazzers are perfectly fine. They don't burn through oil at all, I've noticed. So you should be fine.
They are important.
So, orange cables, these are for your high voltage battery. They are very dangerous to work on, so you need to be specially trained to work on them. So if you do have any problems with your battery, bring it into us because these are running about 400 volts through them. So you do need to be very careful when working with them or working near them, especially because if you're cutting something near them and you accidentally cut into that, that's going to hurt a lot. So Tyres are one of the most important things on your car. They are the thing that is connecting you to the road, between you and the road and the car. So you need to make sure that the tread is up to spec. So legal limit is 1.6 millimeters. You can measure that from inside the tyre. There are lumps across all the tyre, everywhere. There'll be lumps inside the treads, which are 1.6 millimeters high. So if your tread is level with that, that means you are on the legal limit. Another way to check it is with a tread depth gauge. You can pick these up from somewhere like Halfords for a few pound or something like that. And pretty simple device, just quickly measure the things in millimeters. Another thing is, just bring it into us if you're worried about it, and we'll just give them a quick check over and check the pressures and all that, because the pressures are important as well. Pressures can affect the wear of your tread. If it's a correct pressure, it will wear across the whole of the tyre, so across all of the tyre which is connecting the road. If it's overinflated, you will only wear the centre of the tyre because it will be bulging on the edge of the tyre. And if you are underinflated, it will be bulging, so it will be going inwards instead of outwards, and the edge of the tyres will start to wear down a lot more. So you'll get a lot of uneven wear on the tyre. Another thing, if you brake hard a lot, and if you have to brake hard, you can cause a flat spot, which is another thing you need to be looking for, because they can cause oscillations in the tyres when you're driving. Yeah, any questions about the tread depths or anything? No worries. If you get a puncture, I'll show you how to use the TRK which is in the boot of the car, because they aren't quite as a spare tyre anymore, and especially in the hybrids, because you don't have enough space in the tyre, in the footwell of the boot. Yeah, I'll quickly show you that then. We'll move on to the Jazz here. Okay, so in the boot, you can, if you've got a CRV, HRV or something like that, usually the TRK is under the boot tray, but in the Jazzers it is in the side wall of the boot. So what you get is a compressor. You also get a tyre repair kit, which is like the gel stuff that goes inside the tyre. This is a last resort, I would say, for the tyre, because it does kill the tyre after you've used this. If you do have any issues like punctures or anything, I would call the Honda Roadside Assist, just so they can come out, or send a AA member out to find you and repair the tyre. AA members do have adjustable space savers, so they can just take the wheel off for you and put the space saver on, and then you can get back to here and we can change the tyre a lot easier and then replacing it. So we can either, if it's repairable, we could repair it with a puncture repair, or a new tyre if it's unrepairable. Sometimes they do put a temporary puncture repair into the tyre, but that's another temporary fix that you need to get fixed. So yeah, last resort, if you need to, it is in the boot here. So if no one can get out to you as such, I'd use that. To use it, unscrew the red cap on the tyre repair kit and unscrew the orange cap here, and the bottle screws into this. It's a hole in this area, as you can see. So it screws in there, punctures a hole in the lid that's in there, and you plug the 12-volt socket into the front of the car. I could give you a demonstration while we're here, and I will show you that now. So plug into the socket. So now this has power. That will be able to be turned on, and you can pump up your tyres with this if you need to. If you do use the TRK with this, you will need to replace the hose, because it will get clogged up with the solution. Yeah, any questions about the TRK?
Yeah, so it's in the side pocket.
Yep, on the Jazz as it is, yeah. You'll get the compressor and the TRK. Yeah,
We've not even seen ours.
it is tucked away behind a card. It is tucked away behind this card here. So it is hiding behind here. So you do have to pull that down.
Wouldn't have noticed it. So what else has it got in here?
So
What's
that's a tow eye cover. So if you're stuck in like a pit, you put that in your front of your car, and they'll be able to tow you out. You've got a few items in there that will help you in certain situations.
Yeah, we did.
Either looking like this or in a little white plastic bag. Sometimes they are kept in the glove box, usually on a pre-delivery inspection.
From the glove box,
Usually in the pre-delivery inspection, we place them in the glove box along with like your owner's manual and the PDI sheet, just to make sure everything is kept together, and so you know where everything is. So sometimes you might want these for the service. We do ask for them when you come in for a service, so in case we do need to take the tyre off for brakes or stuff like that. So that's just that has to keep in mind where it is. No worries. Right, let's head down to the CRV. It's been sat here a few weeks now, just not been used because it's been in the showroom. So I'll hand the keys to Kaz just for in a minute. Multiple reasons why this has been sat here. It's drained because of the immobiliser lights and the systems in the background that have been running. So the batteries do drain over time. You can sort this out by taking them on drives, which enables the alternator to charge up the battery. But unfortunately this one has been sat a long time, so you can't even start the car. So we're going to have to jump start it and make sure it's all in running order. So I will show you how to do that. We have a Jumpstarting kit. So these are a lot handier than doing it from the cars. You can still do it from the cars. It's just a lot easier and a lot more in case you don't have a car to jumpstart it from. So main thing to notice that you need to make sure the ignition is switched off and the keys are out of the car if you have the keyless cars. So if you've got push buttons, make sure the key is out of the car, because if the key is in the car and you've accidentally left the ignition on, you could fry the ECU, which is the brain of the car, and that is a bit of a pricey part of the car to replace. So it's a good thing to keep an eye out for if you've got the ignition on, because when you attach the battery to the jump starter, it could send a electric current back through the car and fry the ECU. So yeah.
If you've got your fob and you haven't got a spare person with you,
Yep.
if you just had it in your pocket like you normally would do,
Yep.
and jumpstart it, would that be too close? For
No,
that to
no.
be dangerous?
It's mainly to just stop the ignition turning on.
Right.
So if it's out of the car, you can't turn the ignition on without being in the car, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it will be all right if it's in your pocket, or just leave it on the side a little bit further away. But yeah, pocket should be fine, but just in case, leave it on the side. And then once you've attached the battery, switch on the power pack, then you can grab the key, jump in and start it. It's nice to have an extra pair of hands. So Kaz will be jumping in a second, and I will start connecting up this battery.
What about what you were saying with the fob in your pocket? I mean, there are times when I've walked away from the car and left the ignition on.
Yep.
Does it actually, after a while, shut off?
I
I get all the warning bells, whistles and bells when you get out of the car. And you know, if I ignored that and walked away,
I believe it
Will
does.
I-
I haven't tried it personally because it's always beeped at me, and I've walked back to it to turn it off.
yeah, well, that's right.
Yeah.
Do you mean that you've not switched it off because it's gone into hybrid mode and you've just walked off, or?
I believe I think he means if he leaves it on in ignition
and go
mode
away.
and then leaves it with the key,
Yeah.
it will beep at you, won't it? And then it will.
If you take the key out of the car.
That's right. It does.
But
So
it
does
won't
it-
switch itself
It
off.
doesn't turn itself
Okay.
off
It won't,
afterwards.
no.
So therefore, if ever we have this situation, we have to be very careful to make sure
Yeah.
that. Okay.
So just
Oh, that's fair enough.
double
That's
check that it's off. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, when connecting up the battery, always put the negative on first. It just means it earths it out a lot easier and you can not get damage anywhere. So connect up the negative terminal if it wants to clip on. Right, and then the positive. And then once you've got them connected, you can turn the power pack on. As you can see, we've only got 3 volts in the battery at the moment, so that from 12 volts, that's pretty much dead battery. So turn the ignition on for the battery here. Yep, Kaz, are you ready to turn on the engine? You probably won't hear the engine kick in because it'll probably go into hybrid mode straight away. Oh no, it's worked this time. So once the engine's running, switch it off before disconnecting the battery. Always disconnect the positive terminal first, and then the negative. And that's jump starting the car basically to a T. Whoa.